when you think of people that are smart, flat earthers are probably not in that list. They're just retarded. So today, I decided to destroy flat earthers with facts. Flat earthers actually believe that the entire universe is CGI. I've actually heard some of them say that the entire sky is just filled with TV screens. I've also heard other flat earthers say that they're just projecting the stars. If you believe in either of these two things, I'm really sorry to break this to you, but you are dead wrong. And let me explain it. First, it takes quite a while to CGI a number with quite a few zeros. Next, even if we're able to CGI all of that, it would take a lot of storage. So, if we say that every single planet takes up 100 megabytes, which is actually really small compared to the quality of the planet, it would be a really big number. And that number is right here. You really don't have to be smart to understand why storing this many gigabytes is kind of hard. But let's stop talking about gigabytes, because there's an even a bigger problem. And that is, how did people see the stars before the computer was a thing? I know some flat earthers would probably say,
NASA faked documents about the Earth, and NASA pays your great-grandmother to lie about seeing stars.
But that just ain't possible, because the technology to CGI this many stars still doesn't exist. And even if they did somehow do that, this lie wouldn't last that long, because you would have to pay billions of people, and it's kind of hard to control billions of people. So what I'm basically trying to say here is, the universe isn't fake. Like, stars are actually real. But let's stop talking about the universe and actually talk about the planet itself. Okay, I'm just gonna say a couple of things that flat earthers should take into consideration before spewing nonsense. First, flat earthers believe that all pilots are getting paid to lie. Well, if you really believe that pilots are getting paid to lie, why don't you let your most trusted flat earther become a pilot? If your most trusted flat earther becomes a pilot, he or she would know the truth. They would know if you are getting paid or not. And they would also know if the Earth is round or flat, because that's kind of important if you're a pilot. So flat earthers, become a pilot. And I know your qualifications might be really low, but still, at least try to become a pilot. Next, why don't you have a map that is proportional? And why don't you have a reasonable explanation to a bunch of things, like the sun? Flat earthers think that a sunset happens because the sun is getting further from you. But there's a giant problem with that. If the sun is getting further from you, then that would mean that it's getting smaller. But if you look at a sunset, it doesn't get smaller. Flat earthers like to call this perspective, but let me just tell you that a kindergartner knows that when an object gets further from you, it appears smaller. Like, a literal 5-year-old could tell you that. The way the flat earthers explain a sunset is like this. The sun is literally getting further from you. So that means that the sun should get smaller. During a sunset, the sun should get smaller and smaller until it disappears. While during a sunrise, the sun should go from nothing to the sun. Like, it's really not that hard to understand if you're above the age of 5. But that's just the top of the iceberg. There's still so much more evidence. There's so much more. And you can easily understand all of that evidence if you have a third grade education. Now, I would go over all of that evidence, but I don't want this video to be a couple of days long. So, I'm just going to be going over one point, and that is, why would NASA even fake the shape of the Earth in the first place? Why? Flat earthers say it's to trick people, but like, do you really think that NASA cares about what people think the shape of the Earth is? Like the shape of the Earth isn't worth paying billions of people to lie about. Like, it just isn't. Flat earthers also say that it's to hide God, but how would you even hide God if you're faking the shape of the Earth? Like, how? Finally, flat earthers say it's to have power over us, but this is literally the dumbest thing that they could have power over us. Like, with the amount of money they're spending to lie to people, you could literally be North Korea. Why wouldn't they act like North Korea? Like, why would they fake the damn shape of the Earth rather than doing like a bunch of other things? Why don't they create nukes with this money? It's literally useless to fake the shape of the Earth. And that's the biggest thing. So if you're a flat earther, please just shut up. I know that this won't change the mind of flat earthers, but we all know that deep down, flat earthers are wrong. Like it's so obvious. But anyways, I think I need to recover from the brain cells that I lost from this video. So, bye.